What's up, guys? This is Jensen and welcome to another video. So obviously, as we know, the Washington Wizards aren't that great of a basketball organization right now, and that's why I think it's about time that Bradley Beal demands a trade from DC. I think that other than perhaps comfort, there isn't a real reason for him to stay in DC right now. When we're looking at the roster, look at the young talent right now. I mean, Roy Hachimura is a nice young player. I think he'll be a solid starter. He looks like a versatile forward for sure. But I don't see star potential, all-star potential in Hachimura. There isn't really any other young stud on the roster that we could really look at and say he has all-star potential right now. So that's concerning when we're looking at Washington. They don't have any other all-stars other than Bradley Beal right now. And when we're looking at a guy like John Wall, who is injured right now, and I was a huge John Wall fan. I think that he was one of the most dynamic point guards at his peak in terms of explosive ability. But once you have an Achilles injury, I mean, when you're a guy like John Wall, that's going to kill his career, his chance at an all-star again. If he recovers well, maybe he's a 10 to 15 point per game scorer, but to expect anything more from John Wall after he recovers from injury, especially after like 2 years away from the game probably when he gets back on the court, it's definitely too much to ask other than maybe 10 to 15 points per game. And then when we're looking at their draft pick, it's probably not going to be that high unless they get some lottery luck, because Bradley Beal has kept Washington perhaps in the playoff discussion. So if they make the playoffs, they'll get beaten up by the Bucks this year if there is a season. If they miss the playoffs, then they're probably not going to get a lottery pick. So things aren't looking too good either way for Bradley Beal. And the Wizards maybe had a chance to increase their draft pick abilities when they had Davis Bertans. But obviously they didn't choose to trade him away. They chose to keep him. I think that was a stupid move. And when we're looking at the rest of the roster, I mean, it's just not much to get excited about when we're talking about Bradley Beal. I think that if Bradley Beal wants to win, wants to be remembered as a champion, he's probably going to have to demand a trade out of DC. And things aren't looking too good in DC right now. So I think that if Atlanta doesn't really like the top prospects in the draft right now, and if Atlanta doesn't get a top pick in the NBA draft, I think that a Trae Young, Bradley Beal backcourt would be very intriguing. But I think the obvious destination would be the New Orleans Pelicans when we're looking at what they have in terms of assets. Jrue Holiday would be the salary matcher, obviously. Then they have a ton of picks they got from the Lakers. They have some young studs on the roster that you could include in the trade, someone like Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I think that's the most obvious destination. And when we're talking about Lonzo Ball, Bradley Beal, Brandon Ingram, and Zion Williamson on the same starting roster next year, I think that the New Orleans Pelicans make the most sense. And I think Atlanta makes sense too if they don't like the top prospects in the draft. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Please like, subscribe. I'll be providing more NFL and NBA hot takes as the season goes on. Have a good day. Remember to follow me on Twitter, Jensen Sports. See y'all later.